Right? Okay. Right, as soon as I close the door, we're starting. Let's see. Is it going to be finished? Yeah? All right. Okay. All right. I see a few more people running to enter the day, so we're going to wait one more minute. All right. All right. Welcome everybody to our session today. So as you know, this is a session about empowering girls and women. And some of you who are in the room, you heard already this morning that we talked about the millennials and their new way of working. And that's why the girls are there, because we thought, yes, we work a lot with women entrepreneurs. I work with women entrepreneurs. And we realized that actually we have to work with girls too. We have to go and empower the girls. We have to start a little bit early. So that's why this session today is about girls and women. And we want to see how we can do it, how we're empowering them. So I'll introduce myself now. My name is Dana Puya-Morel. Some of you know me because at each SME Assembly we have a session on women entrepreneurs. So that's why the surprise now is that we brought girls in. So I work at the European Commission on entrepreneurship education and to support women entrepreneurs. And we also have the support online of Gerardo, who is somewhere there. I don't know if can we show me? I don't know if he's there, but he's supporting. No, okay. Gerardo. And we also have Raquel, who's going to do the graphic recording. Can we see Raquel? That's me. So, all right. Nice. Okay. Great. So we have the online people. Very nice. And we see ourselves there. Very nice. All right. Good. So what I'd like to invite you to reflect on today and to work with us is to think about how can we empower girls and women, entrepreneurs, would-be entrepreneurs, what can we do? So that's why I invited you here today to think from your role, from your expertise, from what you do. What do you think you can commit to? How can you help? What will be your contribution? So I'd like us to co-create this empowering, these actions together. So this is the invitation today, that you reflect on this. And we have some amazing speakers that hopefully will give you some inspiration on how we can do it. So I'm going to invite now the speakers. We're going to start with Margherita. All right. Hello, Margherita.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we hear you very well.
Thanks. Shall I start?
Yes, please start.
Thanks. Thanks. Maybe I'll, if the slides are put up, they are already up? Yes. Maybe, yes. I don't know how to get the control. Well, I lost support from the technical support staff who have the slides. Now I think I can check. But my name is Margherita Pacifico. I work also at the European Commission, but at the Joint Research Center, where we do research on a number of topics that range from nuclear decommissioning to fiscal policy, but we also do education, research on education topics, and I've been working for many years now on entrepreneurship as a key competence for lifelong learning. So what I would like to kick off with today is the definition that we have of entrepreneurship. Can you go to the next slide, please? Someone? Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much. So I'm getting strange messages on the screen. Fantastic. So what I want to highlight is that the definition that we use at the European Commission, at the Joint Research Center, at the basis of our work, is that entrepreneurship is when you act upon opportunities and ideas to create value for others. And the value that is created can be of any type, basically, from commercial, but social, cultural, environmental, emotional, it doesn't really matter, you name it. You have the flower here that shows different type of values, which comes from the research of mapping like Chalmers. I think this is extremely important to understand how girls can be brought on board of the entrepreneurship wagon, if you want. Because there is too much emphasis normally on entrepreneurship as economic value creation. So we all hear about the Mark Zuckerberg and the multi-billionaire, the people that make a lot of money with technology, with startups, all men. However, if you open up the petals of value creation, you see different types of value that can be created, from harmony value, legacy value, social value, different type of value that people can commit to. So it's important to appeal to people as entrepreneurs, not only because they should become business owner, business for profit. They could do just any kind of value creation for self and for others. And I can mention, for me, I can take women example, and for economic value creation, I can think of Elena Rubinstein. I can think of Jane Goodall and all the work she did to preserve the chin in terms of harmony value. I can think about Beyoncé as an entrepreneur that started with enjoyment value, and Florence Nightingale, who started, revolutionized the nursing through her own social value creation. But beyond that, what we have provided at Joint Research Center, the next slide please, is the Entrepreneurship Competence Framework. Can you switch slide to the next one, please?
Margherita, your time is up, so you wrap it up with this slide, okay?
Yes.
All right,
well,
great.
So at the European Commission, we have worked on this Entrepreneurship Competence Framework that unfold competencies, the entrepreneurship competencies into three areas: ideas and opportunities, resources, and into action. It gives a very fine-grained details of what it means to be entrepreneur, what are the competencies, and this is something that can be built. But first, for me, it's essential that the message that comes out from us, from role models in identifying people as entrepreneurs, is not only people who are successful in business, but there are many people that can display all these competencies in different kind of value creation venture. And I hope this can appeal to young girls that don't see them motivated by making a lot of money only. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Margherita. So you heard about the entrepreneurship competence, so now you understand why we put it there in the session today. And now we're going to hear from Clara about the digital competence. So Clara, you have 3 minutes as well.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, yes.
Thank you. So many thanks for inviting us to this session. I'm a colleague of Margherita, so I will skip the GRC introduction. And I'm working at the GRC as well since 2000, so a number of years already, exploring how digital competences and ICT applications can contribute to the socio-economic inclusion and employability of different groups, including migrant women, young women at risk of exclusion, women carers, and their dependents, as well as unemployed women. My contribution today will be from that perspective as a researcher. I would like to share with you 3 reflections. First of all, the ICT tools and applications and the related competence to use them are meaningful to women when we support them in addressing their vital needs. For example, learning the home country language to help their children in school and family for a migrant woman, or finding solutions to care for their children or their elders to allow them to maintain their job at the same time, or developing self-esteem and media competences to find a work for a young woman. And these competences also are meaningful when help them to accomplish their dreams in life, joining Margarita's proposal. So not only to make money, but also any dream they may have, like working for a social cause, protect the environment, for active citizenship, whatever. So my first message would be that the selling message of digital competence could focus more on what can be achieved with digital competence rather than on the competence themselves as an objective. My second message is that the selling messages could also incorporate the wide impacts of acquiring digital competence, because beyond increasing professional aspirations, employability, and giving access to more and better jobs, they also contribute to the development of transversal competences such as cooperation and collaboration.
Clara, your time is up, so if you want to wrap it up, because your time is up. The 3 minutes are up, sorry. So if you can wrap it up,
so,
the third message.
They have many other impacts. And finally, I would like to move on to the next slide, please. So what are digital competences? The council recommendation for key competences for lifelong learning give us the definition. Digital competence involve confident, critical, and responsible use of and engagement with the full range of digital technologies for learning, at work, and for participation in society. And I would like to finish with the next slide, mentioning that European stakeholders, educational stakeholders, have since 2013 defined what means to be digitally competent for all citizens, not only for ICT professionals, and involves 5 areas of competences, which is information and data literacy, communication and collaboration, digital content creation, safety and problem solving. And next click, please. As Margarita says, it's also a detailed framework, competence framework that can be used for developing education training programs, assessment and certification tools, as well as the definition of digital professional profiles across all professions. So this is a tool, this framework and the related tools are there to support across member states, across countries, to have a joint effort in developing and sharing tools on this direction. Thank you very much for your attention. Looking forward to the debate.
Thank you so much, Clara. So you've seen now, yes? Go ahead, you can applaud. Thank you. Nice. All right, so you've seen all the theoretical background behind these competencies, the digital and the entrepreneurship. Now we invited here some amazing ladies that are going to tell you a little bit about how it's being done. And we have first Eva, who's going to speak.
I'll take this.
All right. Yeah, you can stay there. Where you? So here, so that they can see better. Yeah.
So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eva Melloni. I'm the project manager of WeGate. I don't have the mic.
No, I don't think it's
Okay.
Hang on. All right.
Sorry. Okay. Now?
Use this one.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna now? Okay, let's start again. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eva Melloni. I'm the project manager of WeGate. WeGate is an online platform founded by the European Commission with almost 2,500 members in its own community and 35 institutions and associations. But going more to the Dana question, so what WeGate does to support girls and women to become entrepreneurs, I think that first of all, WeGate celebrate women entrepreneurship. What does being a woman entrepreneur means? The We Barometer, that is our online survey that is gender specific, aimed at detecting the gender specifics or the needs of women entrepreneurs, show clearly that one of the main reasons that might stop a woman to become entrepreneur is that there are few role models. So we are missing business model, business references in which women can recognize themselves. So WeGate is sharing success stories, best practices in order to shape this new entrepreneurial identity. But furthermore, we are also delivering training modules and training activities because entrepreneurship should be included in the entrepreneurial and in the educational curricula, okay? But those training maybe not just to be focused only on how to write a business model or a loan application or accountancy that are, of course, super important topic, but we should also consider other cross-cutting components such as inclusive language, networking, peer mentoring, confidence building, self-awareness, and relationship management. But how to do that? We could do that with digital tools. So digital components and competencies are really crucial for women entrepreneurs and for everybody. But again, our barometer show that there is a lower level of digital competencies in women instead of men. So we highlight, first of all, the issue, not through the barometer, that is the survey gender specific, but also through a constant dialogue with our community and with our council that is composed by institution and association dealing with women entrepreneurship at European level. And then we address it. We address it through events, through peer-lending webinars and the academy, because they are super important, and they are super important for the cooperation, for the optimization, for a better work-life balance, and also for the internationalization in order to create a better and more inclusive society for this next generation of women entrepreneurs. Thank you
Nice,
very
very nice ending slide. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We will go now to Daniela.
So, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well. So, let me share you my story. So, basically, this is me. I'm an agile coach, trainer. I own a business consultancy and education company. So, but those are my other companies. So, I'm basically a serial entrepreneur. I have 2 successful exits behind me. So, I'm very proud of what I'm showing today. But I want to share with you how it all started and what does it actually, what do you need as a woman, as a small girl to succeed, right? So, this is where I started. Do you remember those? The kinder? Yeah. So this was my first business. Actually, I was 10, and in the local park, we had a stand and sold those pretty figurines. And that was the first money, and hell, I was proud of it, right? So by exploring my talents, by seeing that it thrives me, and it gives me pride that I achieved something, that was my first realization. And then I had a mother, and a grandmother, and a grandmother, who were also very powerful women, but not in terms of, like being entrepreneurs, but they were really strong in terms of character. And they believed in me, and they gave everything that was possible for me to start my ambitions and develop my talents. So, of course, at one point of time, it took some courage to apply for an international MBA, and I actually got a scholarship, which was a huge booster. And believe it or not, a proper education not gives you only a solid platform, but it gives you the most valuable network to do a program together with executives, with managers, to be in the right community, because there you can start your cooperation. And of course, not to mention, I spend up to 4,000 euro a year for different memberships in social groups, in different associations, AmChams, Association of Managers, to keep up with all the community, and including women and supporting them to be included in those types of networks and communities is the utmost value. Because, some Greek ancient philosophers said, tell me who are your friends and I tell you who you are. And in business, ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies, it is important that you are not only between your small business support groups, which basically exchange how do we make homemade cosmetics and like small crafts. You were always trapped as a woman in your micro-entrepreneurial state. So you need more, you need people, you need the right community to step into the digital, into e-commerce league, and in the more prospective future businesses. Because, micro women entrepreneurs, they really thrive. And they thrive with 1,000 euros per month, doing the small business initiatives. So you actually need that support.
Daniela, your time is up, so if you want to wrap it up, thank you.
So you need a lot of courage, self-esteem and resilience, and also support of your family and partner. your husband actually needs to understand that if you're making money, then it's 50-50 household and 50-50 also kids. And it's a cultural predisposition, and we shouldn't neglect that. So to wrap it up, some important challenges are not only education and different initiatives. You know, like, let's not think of women in a small scope. Let's not have a small mindset. Let's make it big. Let's give them scholarship for MBAs. Let's give them proper access to business communities and networks. And also, the values in our society need to change. And also, fostering gender equality is utmost important, and also educating parents on how to support young women to get the right courage and the right incentives to start their businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very inspiring, actually. All right. And last but not least, we're going to Sabrina. Here you go.
Thank you very much. Well, I think that we already heard a lot about role models. And last year, by no fault of my own, I accidentally won the essay competition of the European Commission. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I get to walk into every room saying youth winner. It's even worse if you Google my name now. It is the first word that Google will associate me with, Sabine Kerstens winner. And I have not internalized that yet. And many women have not. I work for TechLeap. I'm a data analyst, so I build a data report. And on the left side, you see that women, when you ask them, they about themselves say that they don't have so much faith in themselves to start a business and to run it successfully, far less than their male counterparts. So quite a lot of women don't want to say that about themselves, even though we didn't go test them then, we didn't value their companies afterwards. We just asked them, do you think you can do it? And there was one group of women who said, yeah, I can do it. And those were those of serial entrepreneurs, of women who had tried it once, maybe failed it, maybe they had a lot of issues and they closed the business, no problem. But still, those women, they believe more in themselves that they can start and run a business. They feel that they are less afraid to fail. And that's most important, they are more ambitious. And that in Europe is something that we as entrepreneurs are not so good at yet. Saying, I'm going to be ambitious and I'm going to grow this great business that's going to grow over and over. Where in the US, 3.5% of the male population says, I can do this, I will do this. Here in Europe, we are more around 1.5%. So how can you ever build a great business if you start with a small business plan? How can you build a huge tower if you start with the building plans of a bungalow? We need ambitious business to create the economic value and the job growth that is associated with startups. So they're not built by accident, but they are built by serial entrepreneurs and by the women that are going to take that first step and are going to maybe fail their first business, but then end up believing in themselves. So women entrepreneurship has quadrupled, and we're getting more and more role models. So my call to action to you is next time that you host a panel or a presentation, make sure it's not an all-male panel, because if they're not women founders, if they're not working in startups, then maybe they are already in the tech force or they are already in STEM education and they already have a different view than the rest of your panel might have. Because we all need to think bigger and make sure that all of those female entrepreneurs are winners.
Wow. Thank you. Very inspiring. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Now we're going to go to the next part. So we're going to also hear from you. So you heard this morning that we're doing this in an interactive style. So now we're going to give you a little assignment. So if you want to put the question up, yes, okay. So we're going to have the people online that are going to join the Zoom rooms, and you here, you can stay at the tables where you are. You can also move if you want. 5 people at the table. We're going to give you some paper, and this is the question we'd like you to answer. So based on all these inspiring things that you heard from our role models, we'd like you to answer this question from your role, from your position, from where you sit in daily work life, what actions are you ready to commit to for empowering girls and women through entrepreneurial and digital competencies? You heard what those are, and you heard from the ladies how they do it. So maybe when you were doing it, you didn't know we have this digital competence or entrepreneurship competence, yet you were doing it. So this is what we like you to work on in groups. So to answer these questions, to come up with these actions, and we're going to harvest these actions on the Mentimeter, same as we have done this morning. You're going to scan the code, and for the online speakers, we're going to send them the link. All right, so we have 15 minutes from now. All right, so we invite you now, and if you ladies want to join the table, so I think they will benefit from your presence at the tables. You can also move around the tables. All right, okay, and I'm going to distribute some paper. time is up. Okay, time is up. Please enter your results in the Mentimeter. Okay, please put your results, the action that you have come up with, please put them in the Mentimeter. All right? You can keep working.
And then do I photograph that?
No, better to put words, the main actions, a few
Okay.
actions. All right, we're going to have a look at the results now. So the results are coming up. Okay, I saw STEM, women interview panels, entrepreneurial competences, self-awareness, very nice. Became aware of the challenge. Okay. The marginalized group. Yeah, being entrepreneurial as a civil servant, that's not only the entrepreneurs are entrepreneurial, you can have entrepreneurial teachers, entrepreneurial doctors, involve men in this process, very good. Faith in yourself training, very nice. Okay. Yes, women role models to stay in STEM. Good. Continuous support. Role models. Okay. Okay. So has everybody inputted? All right, refresh now. Let's see. Entrepreneurship, okay. Women role models, okay. Finance action. Digital providers, okay. Free training, very good. Role models comes up. Pre and during university education programs for women. Mentors. Okay. Female role models among the young generation. Okay. Digital fields, yes. Okay. Women in decision making. Girls only programs, and I saw it in some countries where it works. Okay. Young Female Entrepreneurs Network. All right. Okay, while this is being refreshed, I'd like to hear from the online people. So let's see if Gerardo can tell us what's happening online. Gerardo, can you come in and tell us? All right. Maybe now we hear from our speakers, because we'd like to hear, so based on their experience, what they told us here this morning. So let's hear from the on-site speakers first. Eva, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe come here with it.
Yeah, thank you. Look, from my table, some interesting points just came up related to. That's too high for me. That's for man. Anyway, or for Dana. It was related again to role models, but role models maybe should change for women, but not only for women. Role models should be different for everybody. We need to include men, kids, everybody in this process of change. No, we need. And then also not maybe role models, but real models. We need to see that things are changing using different language, no? Language associated to what does mean entrepreneurship in general, no? So that's
awesome. So real life models,
exactly.
like authentic. Great. Thank you, Eva. All right. Okay. Daniela?
So thank you very much. So at our table, we talked a lot. One of the things we really tackled is that the system in how should we support women and girls, it's really complex, right? It does not only come to education, to different initiatives, but also to the culture, the values that we have, right? So the system that we currently live in is a male-based system, right? Where entrepreneurial playground is mainly suited to that cultural aspect. But now putting girls in, we talked about also the mindset of the woman in, okay, so basically if I'm traveling now for business, who's gonna take care of the kids, who's gonna take, you know, like there's still a mother role that is also culturally embedded. And we have our mothers who tell us, you're so much out of home, you know, shouldn't you be home with the kids? And nobody is asking our husbands that, right? So it's actually the cultural thing that we have to overcome, and also think about the inclusivity of, you know, like include women to the networks, and to grant them access to different associations and networks where they can also find some, you know, like co-founders, and really, you know, like skyrocket their business, not only just stay small and in certain craft shifts, but also think big and act big, and then also make big businesses.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. And where is Sabrina? I don't know where she is. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that what I liked most about our table was the diversity from it. We had male allies, we had people that are entrepreneurs, we had people that next to their own business decide to spend time on women equality and minority equality. And that shows a little bit of the diversity of directions it has to come from. So it's not the women only themselves, it's coming from so many different ways. It comes from the law, it comes from the economics, it comes from the policy and the government, public sector, and everyone has a role to play. And on the screen just now we saw something that related to my call of action: no more all male panels. They called it manels, so that will be something I'll remember to take away.
All right, awesome, Sabrina, thank you. All right, so let's hear from the online people, and then we'll go to the table. So maybe Margherita?
Yes, Dana. We weren't able to come together in a discussion online, but I was reflecting on what was coming on the screen, and I think that I want to make an addition to what I was presenting before on value creation. I want to quote Virginia Woolf and say, when she was saying that a woman to be a writer in that case needs a room of her own and 500 pounds to be independent. So since I was putting a lot of emphasis on the non-economic value creation, I want to say that women need finances independence, and this financing is one of the greatest barriers to fund businesses owned by women. So this aspect maybe didn't come out so clearly in the messages, but it's important that we also pass the message that economic independence is something that is not only for men but for girls too, even today, so many years after Virginia Woolf said it.
Awesome, thank you, Margherita. Thank you. And now let's hear from Clara.
Thank you. I would like to address one topic which has almost not been addressed, which is the discrimination that women find in this world, which is a men's world, and we have to be honest and open around that. And I would like to refer to what Eva suggested, the importance of mentors in this process. So I think we need to walk along men in this path, not only to welcome women, to allow them to access this entrepreneurship and business world, also to stay and progress. So I think we really need to learn from men, and also be there to teach them how the wings they can have working together with this diversity that was also mentioned by my panel colleague, the richness of diversity, of the gender diversity, and there are other genders of course as well, in working together and being creative, creating value all along. So I think really I would like to mark this point about joining men in this, or having men joining us in this adventure, so as to address these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. Thank you. All right. And now we're going to go to the tables. Who would like to speak out quickly, briefly? Just say what have they come up at their table. We have microphones. We have 2 microphones. So just raise your hands so that the nice ladies would know where to go. Okay. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Jyoti, and when we were talking on this table with the other female colleagues of mine, I think there were many points. You can see that our chart is almost full with lot of comments on what we all can do to empower men and women, women and young girls. And I think the first few of them was like that we should start with motivating people around within our circle, you know, and within our network. Within our surroundings, and that's the first step that each of us can take, and you really don't need to do something out of the box to do that. It's something very, very feasible and easy for all of us. But would you like to add more? Anybody wants to add more?
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we go to the lady at the table next to you because she had her hand up. Thank you.
Thank you. At my table, we had 2 colleagues from Serbia, 2 colleagues from France, and I'm from Slovenia. And we are all amazed at the thing that they did in Serbia 3 years ago, where they introduced computing knowledge in primary school. So the kids who are there 10 years already start to learn, and that means boys and girls. So that's something that really, really speaks highly of getting digital competencies from very early on. But that's not the only thing that they did. They also teach very, very young children robotics when they don't know that that's supposed to be for men. So girls do that anyway, and so they have fun with that. So I think that that's something that should have been a little bit replicated all over the place. And we also suggested that the Council for Digitalization to the Slovene government to follow in at least some steps the Serbia. But if I can just a little bit more monopolize this microphone, since we're talking about the issues that women have in the world of men's world, first let's know that the 20th century did more for women than all of the centuries before. And we have to be thankful to every woman in that century that helped us be here today. And be very careful that we don't go into backlash. When we take things for granted, like yesterday, I had an interesting discussion, and a colleague from Germany said, my wife fought for the word entrepreneurin, for the word engineering. And now I see the new generation saying, it's okay if you're called engineer and you're a woman. It's okay if you're called doctor and not doctress or something. It's not the same. And we should have been a little bit aware of that. And also men who are very inclined and very pioneers in promoting equality. They are also product of the culture where we are grown in. And that culture is that we hear much later what a woman said than we hear an argument for a man, and it can be the same argument. And so women, just don't shut up. Don't be nervous if they call you needy and loud, because I think that's on our generation to do, so that the next generation will have an easier way.
Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Yes, somebody over there? Yes. Yeah, the last table there. Can you, yeah, last table. Yeah. Okay, you start there, both, yeah. Go ahead.
Is this on? Yeah. I take my distance. Yeah, my name is Esko Reinikainen, and I'm from Systems Change Finland. In Finland, we've learned if you give the keys to the government to women, you get a much healthier society. And I try to be I try myself to be a visible ally to women in all my other situations. I came late to the workshop, and I saw the wonderful suggestions that were all about nurturing and empowerment. And then I added smash the patriarchy. People in my position with my gender have been privileged these positions, and we're not going to give them up without having our kind of comfort zone a little bit threatened. My last comment is, as I'm listening to the discussion, another thing I do is I run seminars on protecting democracy from the erosion of particular dynamics we've been seeing in the West, where we took democracy for granted. And there's a Professor Timothy Snyder who's written this book on tyranny, which has 20 things you can do to stop losing the democracy that you have. And the first thing he says is, do not obey in advance. And that's to do with the reason that populists and totalitarians are getting such traction is that the majority of the population is a little bit passive and going along with it, rather than actively resisting. The world that we work in has been privileged towards men. It's the kind of standard that we're fighting. We mustn't obey in advance. Do not accept it as being okay and then we have to do some tunings. I think we behave from the point of view that it's not right and we don't obey the things that aren't working for everybody. And that's maybe too confrontational and aggressive, but I think actually what we need to do if we're going to get a rebalancing.
Thank you. It's good to hear from men as well. Thank you. And there was, yes, that table there.
I'll be quick and short, as opposed to men in this lovely surroundings. The biggest problems are shared problems, the ones that nobody owns, but everybody is affected by. So it's very nice to see you men also involved in changing the ratio. I wouldn't really go deep into changing the language, because I think we need to open our minds and not be biased. If we see a secretary, we don't automatically presume it's gonna be a female. Just open your mind and don't go into the pattern. We talked about promotion of female brand. So female entrepreneurship, however you call it, female entrepreneurs deserve a specific brand, whether it's hashtag women founded, hashtag female owned. It's very important to add that hashtag on your daily activities whenever you're speaking social media or you presenting something. Networking membership, we've got a beautiful creator of a network in Holland. She came all the way from Canada, so it's a great network, and we definitely being a member of network, we can benefit a lot. We can connect to other females. That's also a great opportunity. Use that opportunity to network, especially that now we can finally do it face-to-face. Vocational education training. That's lovely members from Cyprus who came to vouch for education, and we've got a great member who I heard, I didn't witness it, but delivered passionate speech about education. We also need to remember how important it is to stop ourselves from helping our men. Sometimes delivering tasks evenly is very important, and not doing that pancake because you are going to do it best. Let your husband do it. Let your son do it. Let your father do it. Did I cover everything? Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. One last voice from some, yeah, all right, Lina, last voice.
Hello.
You can take your mask.
Okay. Hello. With this table, we would like first of all to say a positive message. We would like to applaud to all of us that we have done a great job in making the girls visible up to now, because we do see differences the last 5 years. We do see differences from where the startuppers, the girl startuppers, the lady startuppers were 5 years ago, unknown, invisible, and now we have seen a lot of girls. We were discussing with Grazia in Greece, in Italy. Grazia actually started the conversation to that has started being more visible. So we need to continue this good work. We need to take advantage of this opportunity. This is the momentum to keep on changing things. But we need to do it with a continuous strategy, not ad hoc activities now, here, there, and everything, but we have started. We have started moving the wheel, and we need to continue on that. So we need to continue liaising the young girls with role models. Of course, education is important component from the very young age. A lot of countries have started adopting that, but we need to continue a specific, very drastic strategy in all over Europe. And we are there, and we are part of that, and we need to continue being part of that.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to end with this positive message. So let's put all our forces together, all of you here, that we can co-create. And it's like what you said, to take the opportunity. Margherita showed, I don't know if you saw on the flower, taking the opportunity is one of the entrepreneurship competences. And we heard this morning that with the pandemic, yes, we saw some women actually going back. And the professor this morning talked about this path dependency. If they start working less, it's very hard to bring them back. So maybe we take the opportunity now and we use this momentum to create these actions from where you are together. Maybe when we meet 5 years from now, we see, oh, look what the progress we have made. I'd like to go to Gerardo online, if it's possible, to hear what is heard from the people that were online, and then to Raquel to show us the nice drawing. So Gerardo, can you talk to us? No, he's not online? No, all right. So, all right, so Raquel, then you want to show us?
Sure, can you see what I've done?
Yeah.
Behind me? Okay,
Yes.
great. So it's been my honor to listen in on the wonderful, rich conversation, and just to place some anchors there. So really, I think that a lot of discussion has been around the language, so important how we speak about ourselves as women entrepreneurs and empowering girls before us, changing our mindset, not only thinking bigger, but acting bigger and lifting each other up. Thank you so much for the wonderful discussion.
Thank you, Raquel. Awesome to have that. Can we keep the drawing on? Can we leave it on? All right. So I hope you really are inspired, not only to continue what you are already doing, but to join forces. This is why we bring you together here, so that we join forces, we do it together with the little or the bigger things that we have, that we put it together to create this, to empower the girls and the women. And thank you for speaking of kindergarten. Yes, we start with the young girls, so let's do it. And if you have these practices, let's make them bigger. Let's show others, because visibility and playing big is really, really important for girls and women. So thank you for joining us. Let us know if you have other ideas. And keep this inspiration and this momentum and take the opportunity, okay? Thank you. And enjoy the rest of the SME Assembly. Good.
Okay.
All right. All right.